Thanks for joining me in this GR Corolla. They did a lot of updates for 2025, including a little bit more power, a little bit better airflow, a little bit more cooling. We're going to talk about all of that right now. This car has been a complete blast to drive so far this week, and we're going to talk about the updates that they did for 2025 because they did a lot of them. So we're going to start here at the front bumper. They gave you a bigger opening here on the grille to provide more airflow and cooling. Same thing, they got rid of the fog lights and opened that up to provide more airflow. You can also get an optional sub-radiator in this. This is also to help with the cooling on the new transmission because it gets a transmission cooler. And this new transmission that I'm going to tell you about is an 8-speed direct shift automatic transmission. Toyota calls it the DAT. We're going to talk a little bit more about that here in a few minutes. The next thing we want to talk about is this bulge hood. Now this hood is only going to be available on this Premium Plus trim, which used to be the Circuit Edition. They got rid of the Circuit Edition and now you have the Premium Plus trim. So you get this bulge hood with these air vents that are in gloss black. We come around here to the side and you can see these 18-inch matte black wheels only on this Premium Plus trim. They are gloss black. On the other trims, you also see you got 4-piston GR calipers right there and some massive rotors in there. This thing will stop on a dime. You come up here and this Premium Plus trim is also going to get this forged carbon fiber roof. That is pretty awesome. What this does is it lightens the weight, which also helps lower the center of gravity. They made some adjustments to the suspension also. Here in the rear, they stiffened those up a little bit to reduce the squat when you're accelerating, and it helps you when you're cornering. This new 8-speed direct shift automatic transmission was built by Gazoo Racing. It was tested on racetracks and rally stages because they wanted to give you a perfect automatic transmission to use on the track that felt as close to a manual as possible. The shift points are extremely tight and the downshifting is super quick. They wanted you to be able to focus on braking and accelerating in and out of the corners. You also, with this, get launch control for the first time. So that is pretty interesting. It was, I did it once so far. It's pretty fun. So we'll be doing that a little bit later in the video. On top of having your drive modes of Eco, Normal, Sport, and Custom, you also are going to get all-wheel drive settings. So in normal mode, this is going to give you 60% of the power to the front and 40% to the rear, just for your normal street driving, that type of thing. Now you can switch over to gravel, which is kind of like your rally mode. And at that point, you're gonna get 50% in the front and 50% in the back. So you got balanced power through the car, makes it feel really good driving on those rocks. Then the last one is track mode. Track mode, you can get up to 30% in the front, 70% in the back. The only thing different with this is it is computer adjusted. So it depends on your output, how you are driving, when and where you need the power. But you have up to 30% in the front to 70% in the back with computer adjustments. That is pretty cool and pretty awesome. They made a little bit of a tweak to the engine too, so let's take a look at that right now. Now this thing is an amazing little engine. It's a 1.3 liter turbo inline 3-cylinder, putting out 300 horsepower. I mean, really, how do you get 300 horsepower out of a 3-cylinder engine? That's 100 horsepower per cylinder. That is insane. And they made an adjustment to this also because it did have 273 pound-feet of torque. Now for 2025, we've got 295 pound-feet of torque. So that's an increase of 22 pound-feet. That is awesome, and you can really tell when you're out there on the road. you still have that awesome 6-speed manual option, but they wanted to give some people who don't know how to drive a stick shift the opportunity to have one of these, to drive one of these, and maybe have themselves a little fun track car for the weekend. So this comes standard with front and rear limited slip differentials, and as I mentioned, you do get launch control with the automatic transmission. You get 0 to 60 in 4.9 seconds in this thing with a top speed of 143 miles per hour. Not that I would ever go that fast, especially out on the street, but on the track, that would be perfect for those straightaways. Fuel economy, you're gonna be at 19 in the city and 27 on the highway with an average of 22. That 27 on the highway is going to be great if you do need to take this on some long trips. Now let's check out the interior, the cargo space, see how much room this little car's got. All right, let's take a look at the back here. Now this is pretty cool. You do have the 3 exhaust pipes back here. That is a signature of the GR Corolla. So if you see 3, you know you got a GR in front of you. Pretty cool. All right, let's take a look at the cargo space here. Now this is not powered. You do have to lift it up yourself. Now it says it's 18 cubic feet of space. Not so sure it really is unless you take a whole bunch of stuff out of here, which there isn't much you can do here. There's a little bit of space. Maybe if you took this whole thing out of here, you might be able to get a decent amount of luggage in here as long as that stuff was out of there. If you drop the back seats, you're gonna get about 35 cubic feet of space, but you also have your stabilizer bar running through here. So that would prevent you from being able to put some long items in here. Now let's take a look at the inside and see what you get in here. This is all black in here, so you've got red stitching along here. It looks really good. Pretty simple design here. Bottle holder right there. All your door, window controls, and mirror controls are all right here. Come over here, you do not get powered seats in this, so you do have a height adjustment here, and then your backrest adjustment here. Pull bar for forward and backwards. Coming across here, this does kind of jet out because this is at an angle. This is not straight down or anything like that. So that, I do like this design. It's pretty cool, but it does feel like it's coming in at you. You do have a glove box down here, which is pretty good size. This up here is kind of a soft rubbery material. I like it. This is all that way, all the way across here. It feels real premium product. You do also have a heads-up display in the Premium Plus trim. I just like how this is just flat, really. I mean, it doesn't get in your way. So I think when you're out there on the track driving, you don't have stuff that's kind of like sticking up and in your way. You just feel like you can just see the front of the car. Looks really good. On your driver's display there in the center, you have your tachometer and your digital speedometer along with your driver assistance features there in the front. You can see down here in the bottom it says GR4 and it's in normal mode right now. Miles per gallon on the right side, and on the left side you do have your boost pressure for your turbo, which is pretty nice to have up there. And we can change the ones on the left and the ones on the right. If you hold the OK button down here, that will bring this driving support up, and you can go over here and change gauges on this side, and then you can go to the middle. You can change this in the middle, so it has your gears, and flip through those, your settings, which has got all of your driver assistance features in there. You go over to this side, same thing, you can change a few different ones over there. We'll go more into depth on the driver's display during the tech video. All right, we'll pan back here and we'll look at this steering wheel. Pretty typical Toyota steering wheel. Not real sure why this doesn't have a flat bottom. I mean, for a lot of these cars are having flat bottoms, and this is technically a race car or track car, and there's no flat bottom. That's kind of interesting. But you can see they got the GR logo right there on the bottom. I forgot to also mention you got the GR logo on the start stop button. You have driver assistance features on the right side, and this does have Toyota Safety Sense 3.0, I believe is what it's called. lane centering and all of that. It's awesome. And then this side has your voice recognition, your stereo controls, and your phone. And then this controls your menu up in the driver's display. Here's the infotainment screen. It's just an 8-inch screen, so it is on the smaller side. But again, if you're doing a track car, you don't want to have this giant screen that's sticking up or in your way and distracting you. So I think it's okay. It does have Toyota's system running on it, which works really, really well. You can see Android Auto and Apple CarPlay is wireless, and that's what's up now. You can hit one button here. We can go into the Toyota functions, and here you have your music, of course, Android Auto at the top, navigation, music, where you can change what you were listening to, your phone. You can hit the car button. This is going to give you your trip information right there with history. Go back out, vehicle alerts. Go down here and you go into your settings. And then this is where you can change all of your information with your phones. Set up your phone. You can go down through here and you go to vehicle customization, lights, doors, and those items right there. So that's got all of those settings there, and then you hit one touch and you're back to Android Auto. That's pretty much it, but we'll go into more depth on that one in the tech video also, along with all of the driver assistance features. We'll be testing all of those out. Down here, you got climate control buttons. I love that this is all just buttons, easy, quick, change whatever you need to. Down here, you have a wireless phone charger, and you have your heated seats. So you've got a high and a low setting for each side, which is pretty nice. They do warm up pretty quickly. Come back here, and then here is your drive modes right here, and we can flip through those real quick. So you can see you've got Sport, Custom, Sport, Normal, and Eco. You got right here is your traction control button. Of course, you got standard gear shifter, and you can go into manual mode on it. Also, this does also have the paddle shifters right back here. We come back a little bit farther, and this is where you have your all-wheel drive system. So right now, we talked about, it says normal down here, and this little green light down here. We got normal. If we switch this to gravel, and that's your 50-50 split, and then we can push down on this and go into track. So now we're in track mode. We have all the way up to 30% in the front, 70 in the rear, depending on what the car feels you need while you're driving. Emergency brake right here. You got two small cup holders right here, and back here you have no center console, and you also don't have an armrest anywhere. It would have been nice to maybe even have like a flip down armrest or something like when you take trips. So then you have a USB-C plug back here and a 12-volt plug-in. Also, I did forget to mention that there is another USB-C up here that is a direct USB connection if you need it. The one in the back here will only charge your phone. This does have a JBL stereo system, so you've got speakers there, speakers over there. Of course, you got the speakers in the door and then some in the rear. What do you guys think so far? It is a kind of a small car, and I'm gonna go get in the back. I'm 6 foot tall. We're gonna see how much room I actually have back there. Okay, so the door doesn't open extremely wide for one thing. The driver's seat is in my driving position. We will get in here, and yeah, my knees are pretty well smashed up into the seat. I can't really relax. I'm pretty straight up. Oddly enough, though, I have about 1.5 inches above my head, which is pretty cool because this does actually, looks like it kind of curves back up here at the top. So if the driver was able to scoot up just a little bit, or maybe tilt this seat back up a little bit, there really wouldn't be too bad in here. I'm actually surprised that I fit this well in here. So yeah, that's a plus. Your door is actually this hard plastic up here, but you do have some leather right here. It's not real soft for your elbow, but it should be okay. You do have a cup holder right here. You do have mat pockets in the back. Of course, there's no vents back in here, but you do have a center armrest with 2 more cup holders there. Pretty nice. This is also that ultra suede, just like the front. But that's pretty much it back here. Pricing is all going to depend on what you want in your car. So the Core is going to start at $38,860, and you still have the option of a manual or the new 8-speed DAT, and that's going to be under $40,000 for a track car. So that is pretty nice. If you go up to the premium and you want to get a few more amenities in there, you're going to go to $41,440. And then this Premium Plus right here starts at $45,515. And as tested, we've got right in front of us with all the options, and the destination fee comes in at $50,144. I think it's time for us to go try out that launch control. Let's see if we can get a chance to do some launch control on this, get a 0 to 60, which is going to be very quick. It says 4.9 seconds, that seems slow. I bet it feels a lot quicker. And I know that this thing is extremely loud because it is a track car. So here we go. We've got brake down, ready. Launch controls engaged. We go. Oh yeah. Spun some tires there. Woo! I think maybe we need to try that one more time. See if we can get a little bit better here. Ready? Launch control. Oh yeah, it's ready. Here we go. Oh yeah. Woohoo! Yeah! That thing really kicks, man. This is an awesome freaking car. Love it. Wow. Okay. Let's get ourselves all back to some normal settings here. Yeah, this thing is fun to drive. Even in normal mode and you're just cruising around, it's a lot of fun. So, yeah, you won't be disappointed in whichever trim that you get on this car. I would go for the high-end one, but you know, $50,000 is a pretty pricey number. But you can get the same performance and the same type of stuff out of that Core or even just the Premium, then yeah, I mean, why not? The Premium, if you're gonna plan on driving this and using this kind of a little bit as a family car, like if you have small children or something like that, and yeah, that would probably be nice to get a few extra amenities, things that are a little nicer on the inside. But if you're planning on just using it as a track car on the weekends, go get that Core and just have a lot of fun in it. Suspension is tight, so it is really bumpy, especially on not so good roads, some kind of rough roads, which is what we're driving on right now, because this is the Midwest and our roads are not that great because we have a lot of high temperatures in the summer and low temperatures in the winter, and salt and you know, snow plows tearing up the roads and stuff, so they're not always in the best shape. So it can be a little rough and a little hard for some people. They may not really like the ride of this car. But other than that, it's excellent for taking your corners and stuff like that. You're not going to go anywhere because the suspension is awesome. I've really enjoyed driving it. Miles per gallon, we've been averaging right around 24, 25 for the last 3 or 4 days. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and then click on the video that's on the screen. That one is going to give you more information about this GR Corolla. And then you guys have a blessed day.